Welcome back. My name is Nick and I'm going to help you get better audio in OBS. And the first step to getting better audio in OBS is looking outside of OBS. Here's what I mean. Your room matters. Your microphone matters. If you are in a mostly empty room with nothing on the walls, with hardwood, with no carpet, no rugs on the floor, you're going to get a lot of echoes. It's not going to sound great. If you've got an open door, if you've got kids running around, if you got somebody else in a meeting nearby, if you can hear other people, if you have an open window, traffic, airplanes, trains, construction sounds, it's all noise and it's all going to sound bad. But if you have a small private room, lots of furniture, carpet, rugs, stuff on the walls, it's going to break up the sound waves. It's going to sound a lot better. So my recommendation is to find a small private room, close the door, try to put some rugs, some carpet, and you're just instantly going to sound a lot better than you would in a big echoey room with nothing in it. Now, I know you want to get into OBS, but we also have to talk about microphones. I am going to inform you of a few different microphone options so that you can do your own independent research. So the top two contenders first, we got USB and XLR. USB mics are microphones you buy and you plug into your computer. USB, super easy peasy. They just work. And often they work great for most purposes. The most popular are the Snowball and the Yeti. Both are by a company called Blue. In my opinion, the Yeti sounds fantastic and the Snowball sounds like a lot of other more affordable microphones. So to my ear, I would skip over the Snowball and just go for the Yeti. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth saving up for if you're looking for a USB microphone. Booth Junkie has a great comparison between the two of them. XLR microphones. XLR is the name of the cable that connects to this microphone. And XLR mics get broken down into another two categories: dynamic and condenser. Dynamic mics are actually what you're used to hearing on a lot of podcasts, so you probably already know the Shure SM7B. Dynamic mics are great because they'll pick up the sound of whatever they're pointed at and nothing else. So you can't hear my chair squeaking, you can't hear me tapping on anything, you can't hear me putting down a water bottle, which is what makes them so great for interviews, because you have more than one person talking. That person might be moving around, they might not know how the mic works, they're making a lot of sounds, and the dynamic mic isn't going to pick those up so long as it's pointed at their mouth. Now, a condenser mic is what I have right here. And as you just heard, it is going to pick up those extra sounds. Every time I touch anything, anytime my chair squeaks, it's going to pick that up. And again, if I have that echoey room, if I have people running around, if I have an open window and I have traffic, it's going to hear that. But with a well-treated room and maybe just one person in that room, this is a fantastic option because it's what you're used to hearing in studio albums. These are the kind of mics that vocalists use. It's also the kind of mics that movie announcers use this summer. That kind of thing. That's so stupid. So if you're in a quiet room by yourself, I would recommend a condenser mic. If you're in a noisy room or there's other people in that room with you, I would recommend a dynamic mic. And for XLR mics, you can't just buy the microphone because you can't plug an XLR cable directly into your computer. You need something called an interface to go from your microphone into the interface into your computer. I am using the extremely popular Scarlett 2i2 Studio Bundle. This is not sponsored, which comes with the interface, the exact microphone I'm using right now, and it comes with a pair of mixing headphones that everyone swaps out for better ones shortly after buying them. Now the budget option, and you're gonna laugh at this one, but do not knock it till you tried it. Remember the Rock Band video game? The Xbox version of that game came with a USB microphone. So go to your local thrift shop, buy an old Xbox USB microphone, then find a wire clothes hanger and bend it into a microphone stand. Put the mic in your clothes hanger microphone stand and put a clean sock over it as a pop filter. And if you laugh at this option, I'm so sorry, but you're a hater because the solution sounds great. All right, enough about spending your hard-earned dollar. This is an OBS tutorial. Let's get back to the software. The audio magic that I'm using in OBS is called a VST. VST stands for Virtual Studio Technology. It takes these and turns them into little software plugins that look like this. So no matter what microphone you're using, you can apply big fancy studio effects to your audio. But Nick, I don't want big fancy studio effects. I want my voice to sound like my voice. You're wrong, because the best effects are invisible and you don't notice them. Here is my voice raw into the mic. And now here's my voice with VSTs applied. I'm using a compressor and some EQ, and that's pretty much it. This stuff can get very complicated, so we're just going to apply compression today. To put it simply, compression will take the loudest parts of your sentences and words and make them quieter. Once the loudest parts are quieter, we have more overhead room, so we can make everything louder, because louder just sounds better to the human ear. It just does. If you're using your webcam's default audio and your webcam's default audio is not very good, this could get ugly. Compression can't fix bad audio, but it can make a good mic sound better. Let's give it a shot. Select your microphone in the sources window and then press filters. Then, surprise, surprise, we're going to click the plus button to add a filter. We're going to add a compressor. Okay. We're going to make this real simple. Okay, I picked this trick up from my uncle Harris Heller at Alpha Gaming. So with this window still open, we're going to find our mic in the audio mixer. I know that this is my working one. It's not this one because I don't see any lines moving. I only see the lines moving here. Click the gear icon. Go to advanced audio properties, find the microphone, right? I know it's called microphone. It's not mic aux. Follow it over. And in this drop down, we're going to turn monitoring on by selecting monitor and output. And now you should be able to hear yourself in your earbuds. So put them in. And here's a little side tip. If you can only hear it in your left ear, check mono. And now it's going to be in both ears. If you can hear it in both ears, fine. You don't have to check that. So we can keep this open. I'm just going to move it out of the way. Now back in our filters window, make sure you have compressor selected. Over on ratio, come over here to this text input box, highlight it all, just type in 4. Now we have a ratio of 4. Now we're going to take the threshold, crank it all the way up. You might hear yourself get a little bit louder. And again, if you can't hear yourself, just up the volume so you can hear it. Now start talking. And while you're talking, we're going to slowly lower this threshold until the moment you hear yourself cut out a little bit. Now for me, that's happening around -28 decibels, but yours might happen sooner or later on. Wherever it is that you notice yourself cutting out, bring yourself 10 decibels below that. So for me, that's just under -40. And then finally, drag your output gain up until you can hear yourself again normally. Sorry to tell you, you can't copy my settings. You have to do those steps. Because our microphones are different, because our rooms are different, because our voices are different, my settings won't work for you. So unless you're my biological twin breaking into my room, do the steps. And while we're here, it may not be a bad idea to add a noise suppression filter. Okay, I like whatever this is, this RN noise. Just make sure you put it above your compressor because these filters activate in order. And again, you can move that filter up and down by pressing these down and up arrows over here. So we can close that, change monitor and output back to monitor off, and then close. If you find that the noise suppressor is cutting off some of your voice, some of your sentences, you can disable it by clicking this eye icon here. And that won't remove it, but it will stop the filter from working. So you're gonna get your voice back. But if it does work, leave it on. The noise suppression filter is going to get rid of the sounds of your keyboard clacking, the sound of you clicking your mouse over and over again, any vents, fans, AC, stuff like that. There are a few more VST plugins we can use to get a little bit more of an audio quality boost. Things like a noise gate, EQ, a limiter, but they are out of the scope of this tutorial. If you're hungry for more, I will link another tutorial that I found very helpful for installing additional VSTs and implementing them into OBS. But now with audio done, it's time to add the final razzle dazzle to OBS using custom transitions. So say goodbye to boring old cuts and slides and Luma wipes. We're going custom, baby. Next week, I'll see you then. And finally, we have this very over-the-top explosion transition, and I've also included a version without sound. The file name's